Okay, brother, I believe we are live. I believe we are live. Let me check here.
Let me go back again and see.
Yes, we're live on my page.
Okay, I'm going back to your page. Oh, yeah, I see me.
All right, and good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. And welcome to Coach's Corner with Wayne and Oliver. And we are delighted to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
As the Queen said, good morning or good afternoon.
Ah,
Well, it's good morning for Wayne.
yeah,
He's in California.
yes.
So, welcome everyone to Coach's Corner with Coach Wayne and Oliver. We're delighted to be here. It is our intent to collaborate as mastermind partners. We are mastermind partners by choice.
Can I step away and get my books for a
Oh,
second?
absolutely. I'll keep doing my little introductory speech here. But it is Wayne and our intent to, as coaches, we have a responsibility to the personal development industry that we represent. And it is our goal to not just to take from the communities that we serve, but it is our first intention to add value, equity, and to build goodwill in the communities that we serve.
I'm back.
And so that is our purpose. And we have these monthly conversations where we center around a particular topic that we feel that could be helpful to our clients, our viewers, those that we are connected with. And so here we are, ta-da, on this beautiful Tuesday
Hmm.
with my brother who's holding down the West Coast, and I
Yeah,
got the East Coast. So we got the whole U.S. covered, and we got the whole global community covered because
yes.
we are on these in these global streets. Um, and I'm happy to be here. Good day, my friend.
Hey, good day. It is a good day. And you know why?
Tell me.
This is the day the Lord has made, and therefore it's a good day. Every day is a good day. It has to be a good day when it's made by the Creator, but He makes the day and then He says, Oliver, Wayne, manage it. The question is, am I managing? Right.
Yeah, yeah. That I guess you're right because he says what? Um, have dominion, subdue,
Yes.
make better, multiply, increase.
Woo. You
Wow, those are big responsibilities, man.
that's hey, that's the mandate.
That is the mandate. So you know what that means, that everything that has ever happened on planet Earth is the result of humanity. Would you agree with that?
Well, it was in the mind of the creator, even before the creation, to have an expression of the creator in this space in order to truly reflect and personify the maker. Because before anything was, God was. But in the mind of God, even before time began, there was the thought of this place called Earth. I mean, it's all the galaxies. I mean, it's amazing when you think of the expanse of the galaxies that are existing. And yet there is this little planet called Earth, in which mankind is on Earth. So, in the mind of the creator was Earth, and the creator spoke. He thought and he spoke, and then it became. And we, as the image bearers,
Oh yeah.
as the I say, and you know, when you ask me where I'm from, I'm originally from heaven, dropped off in a piece of heaven called Belize, sent here to be. And like my brother John Ebron says, when God wanted to boast, he said, "Let me make Oliver, let me make Wayne, let me make John," because we are a unique expression of the divine.
I agree, but I want you to answer the question.
Okay, let's clarify.
Is what has happened on planet Earth the result of humanity?
All right. Why I diverted there a second is because I wanted to go to the original intent, right?
Yes, sir.
And therefore the original intent was that man, created in the image and likeness of God, placed in a body, was then given the responsibility to manage. And one of the tests, I think I heard Miles Monroe said this. He said one of the tests was when man was created, God said, "Okay, here are these things," and these things were the animals. And it says whatever Adam said it was, that was what it became. So if Adam didn't say dog, he wouldn't have been dog. Adam said horse, and then it became horse. But then man was given the responsibility to, like you said, right?
To be
He
the
was,
caretaker?
he was given the work. Even before he was given the woman, work was actually there. And that's another program all by itself, because Miles Monroe says a man has to be doing something for a
Yes.
woman to truly be his helpmeet. So if a man isn't doing anything, the woman is just gonna, because woman was created to be the helpmeet. But if a man isn't doing anything, then what will a woman help the man to do?
Well, that's why you see the surge of the and the arise of the female man taking their own vision
Mm.
and doing their own thing. And I like that.
And to throw a little hey, I realized that mankind came from God. So male and female from God, in God. So who God is, I mean, in our mental capacity as human beings, we say Father, but God is Father, Mother, because all beings in Him live and move and have their being. So, who God is, Spirit, the energy that holds this universe together. Recently, I was listening to this one. This is another thing again. I'm just coming with the downloads. The God particle. I don't know if you've heard the God particle, and there is this development that is actually being done in CERN. But they're great scientists and physicists. They have this collider, and they're looking at research reference to what happened before this expansive universe was created. And years ago, there was a big press release, and they were releasing the whole idea that they've studied the smallest particle going beyond the atom and the proton to the particles. And there's something that actually holds this whole universe together. And these are coming from people whose mindset is not wanting to acknowledge the sovereign creator. But they say this thing that is holding all this stuff together is called the God particle.
Oh, we're going to get there one way or the other. We are going to eventually get to the realization that there is only the one thing, the one source, the one life, the one being, the one awareness, the one consciousness, like you say, that's holding it all together, because that is all there is. And we exist within that which is held together.
You take a deep breath. That source that's breathing me and you and the Christian and the Muslim and the Buddhist and
the Sufi
and everybody. That source that is breathing life, because there is one life.
That's one life.
And that life in the creator, and that one life begins, like you would say, with love.
Yes. I was in a global spiritual conference this past weekend, 3 days. And in this conference, there were over 20 speakers.
Hmm.
There were people from I don't know how many nations, right? And the title or the theme of the conference was many paths, oneself. And the core message of that is that all of our lives is the many paths. Every life is a unique path to the discovery of the one self that we all are.
Hmm.
And so you had all these different traditional um, practices, religions. I mean, people. I just mentioned Sophie. I've never been in the presence of a Sophie priest, and all these presenters was presenting on this subject: many paths, one self. And you're talking about a direct experience of not only knowing that, feeling that, and hearing that ultimately every one of the speakers ended their conclusion that we all share that one self, that one God. But all of our lives represent the many paths. So each one of our individual life is like a journey to the one common, I guess, place that we've never left. So it's almost like we're on this journey without a distance, because in reality, we never have left home. Only in this experience have we left. But in reality, we are still there because there's only God. There's only the oneness.
Hmm.
And so what a great experience for me personally. And what a way to expand my, understanding, my knowledge, my awareness of what you just said. There's one thing that holds it all together.
Somebody said that the call of God was not a conference call, is a personal call.
Yes.
And the relationship with God is as unique as my thumbprint.
Absolutely.
And the way God has chosen to reveal to us who God is as unique as every experience that we've actually had in life. So I think it's in the book of Ephesians, Paul talks about the multifaceted aspect of who God is. It's like a diamond. The light hits the prism, and wherever the light hits the prism, it's reflected in so many different directions, but it's this one diamond. And the example is used where he says this thing called church, which is the called out ones, right? When I say the church, I'm talking about the called out ones. I'm not talking about denomination. The called out ones is like a teaching tool on the essence of who God really is, because it's so unique. And like you're saying, every single person, person, like I said, John Ebron said a while ago, is a unique expression of who God is. And therefore, I was talking to a client today, and he said, you know what, I'm learning more and more that I am not here to compete.
No.
I'm here to just complement. And I say this, Oliver, I step into a room and I see all the gifts in the room, and I celebrate each and every one of those gifts in the room. And we are supposed to be celebrating each other, because at the end of the day, if I don't recognize the gift that you are and I'm not celebrating the gift that you are, it's my loss.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So each and every one of us is a gift sent with purpose, sent with, and this is why this work that we do, teaching, and as we teach, we're learning, because for every time I'm working with a client, it's a unique expression of who God is through them. And it's a unique expression of who I am being expressed as we commune and as we open our minds to transformation. And as we do this thing called repentance, which is changing my thinking. That's what the word repent means. Change my thinking. And the downloads that we've had since we were born, that we were programmed with by our care providers and this world that has been bombarding us, we got to go in there and do the delete, and get the right download. And that leads us to what we're talking about today. practices.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And yes, let's introduce our subject for the day. Today, we're going to have a conversation around uh, the impact or the importance or the impact of practicing a morning routine or morning ritual. I mean, people call it different things, but basically, it comes down to us having personal time, right? Personal time with ourselves before we meet anyone else.
And you know what I call it, right?
What do you call it? Oh, yeah, you call it. Oh, I'll let you tell it. What do you call it?
Meeting with the executive director.
Meeting with the executive director. I love that. I love that. And
You know,
and
I was talking to Johnny Brown one time, and we were talking about, because he's a former military, right? And I said, what do you call the person that is actually the head of the military? And I think it's the chief of staff, right? And I said, what would you do if every day before you actually step out there and work, you had a meeting with the chief of staff? And John said, I would come with my notebook, I would come ready, I would come prepared, because the chief of staff is the one that governs the military, right? But we're talking about not the military now, we're talking about infinite universe, creator, infinite, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, alpha, omega, beginning, ending, before time was. And this is why, for me, I gotta go to bed early. Because if I'm gonna be waking up early and I'm gonna be having the best time in the meeting, I gotta be rested. Now, you know where I'm at today. I'm on the West Coast. I'm actually waking up, as far as this body is concerned, I'm still waking up on Central Time. But for all intents and purposes, in the time zone, which is a part of just the life we're living, because
Right.
you get up before me.
right.
But I get up in the time zone where I'm at. But it doesn't mean that because I'm on the West Coast, my body has just automatically snapped, because I'm still getting up, believe it or not, at 2 a.m, which is 4 when I'm in Texas.
Right. Which is your normal time. Yeah.
This is my normal time. I mean, I got up and I was earlier for a client, and I messaged him and I said, are we getting up? Are we? And he says, no, it says an hour later.
Well, I can imagine the math that you have to do now when you calibrate in your different meeting with different clients in different time zone when you go west. So that could be a little challenging, right? But you got it.
When I was in Hawaii, right, I would go to bed at midnight, but at midnight, folks in New York are getting up in the morning. And if I'm supposed to be global, which I am, because you know me, I am a world changer.
Yes.
I am happy and grateful that I'm traveling the world. I'm actually motivating, inspiring, teaching. I'm living this life, living this dream, impacting nations. This is why, again, another daily practice reference to say just taking care of your body, what you're eating, exercising. Because if I'm not in the best shape, when I cross the time zones, I would need a few days to recover.
Yes.
I don't have to need a few days to recover. I want to be able to step off the plane and say, where's the podium?
Yes. So Wayne, does having a morning routine, morning ritual, does it make a difference? And I like to preface that by saying 80% of our day is on autopilot. We are creatures of habit. I mean, no doubt about it. All of us got them. All of us have a morning ritual, whether we know it or not.
Right.
But is that morning ritual serving our best interest? Because some of our morning ritual is just to get up,
get the coffee,
right, and eventually get in the car and go to work, right, and speed down the interstate. Now that's a ritual. Some of our ritual is to wake up in the morning and to decide to just pull the covers over our head, right, and go back to sleep.
Some of us are CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and all the other.
Some of our morning rituals is to immediately turn on the news. I would say that 80% of humanity's morning ritual is to wake up and look at the cell phone. Grab the cell phone, right?
I grab mine, but I grab mine to do a meditation.
Right. So what I'm saying here is that most of our lives is 80% habits. And that's not a bad thing. What's bad is if our habits don't serve us, right?
That is the question.
Right. Whether the habits that we have, do they serve us? You know, there's a word that's used out in the community now, in the psychological community, business community, the word paradigm. And that word paradigm basically means a mental programming or a mental program that has almost exclusive rights over our habitual behavior. And then it says, and almost all our behavior is habitual. So it is a matter of whether or not what we are habitually engaged in, whether or not it adds to or take away from the quality of our life. That's what it gets down to, because it will impact our results or our experience in life. What would you say about that?
You know, what comes to mind is what we learn in dream building is the fact that we're creating a life. We're not creating. And how we're creating is by the choices that we're making. Because the choices that I make leads to the outcome that I have. As a man thinketh, so is he. So it starts with my thinking, it starts with my action, it starts with my association. And like you said, a lot of what is being done is like on autopilot. But how conscious am I of the moment that I'm actually doing what I'm doing? Right now, I'm very present. I'm with my brother. I'm doing this live. And everything else is like, I've decided, I've cut away from everything else. And this moment is the moment that I'm in. And it's because I come with intention. But again, people are living today, creating a life either by default or by intention. You declared earlier the intention why we do this, what we're doing, even meeting once a month, is to add value. And this is why we're very, very intentional in this time. And I don't have a client to see at this time. I don't have no other business at this time. And this is being a personal increase, adding value. And as I'm adding value is being added to myself.
Yes.
So the rituals are important. And like you said, some of them are just, like we say, habits. I mean, one of the ritual I have is brushing my teeth when I wake in the morning.
Yes.
That's a ritual. And it does me well, because dental health leads to better physical health. A lot of the illnesses that people have is as a result of bad health as far
practices.
as your health
Yes.
You don't brush
or the lack of healthy practices. Yes.
Right.
So staying on this subject here, I want to share. Can I share? Can I share a slide? Can we do that?
Sure.
All right, like I said, 80% of our day is on what? Autopilot. I mean, we're just creatures of habit. Paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. So we are creatures of habit, or we are creatures of our paradigms.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, our paradigms are our habits. And we develop them from different ways, right? A lot of them we inherit. Some of them, right, we've been conditioned, we've been taught. Some we've learned through study. But it doesn't matter how these habits have been developed. What matters is, are they adding to or taking away from the quality of our life? Because the whole idea is, if what we're doing, if who we're being is not in alignment with our reality, then therein lies the frustration, therein lies the unhappiness, therein lies the disappointment, therein lies all these negative feelings that we begin to experience. And we wonder, how can I escape these feelings? How can I escape these results, right? How can I change my life? And so I wanted really to show the next slide, which is what I wanted to show. And this is it. So what is a morning success ritual? That's what I call it, right? Because all of us desire to excel or achieve in life. I hope that is the case, right? It is within all of us to advance in progress, right? And so this is how I define, or this is how we define morning success ritual, which is a predetermined and planned set of activities that one chooses to engage in regularly to start the day. Notice I said to start the day for the purpose of connecting, meaning grounding or centering ourselves with our higher self and our higher power. It sets the tone for the rest of our day and helps us to feel intentional, empowered, focused, energized, and productive.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that definition, which is not all encompassing, it's just kind of our approach to why having a morning ritual and what it is, it's predetermined and it's planned.
Can I do a little
Go ahead. Go ahead, coach. Go ahead, coach.
And reference to the lives that we live today, I want to say that the ritual, we say morning because morning is when we start our day. But I know there might be folks who their day doesn't start in the morning.
Right.
Like you have people who are nurses, people who work shifts, they
Right.
go home. But I would say it's the time that you begin. Because if I'm working a shift, and I'm saying this so that audiences might get out of the mindset that it has to be, okay, in the morning. But for me, because of the way I'm living my life, it's going to be the time that I actually rise, whatever that time is.
So you're saying morning is whatever the start of your day is.
Right.
Okay.
And I know I watched this now, reference to the morning, though I can say this, they've done research and they say that because of the way we were created in sync with the universe, the moon and the sun. And when the sun goes down, there are things that happen to our body just because of the way we were created.
Right.
Sun goes down, and normally that's when you're going to start feeling sleepy. The sunrise, and because of the energy with which we are, we wake in the morning. So that's the norm. That's what was original. Because we live in an age today where people's lives have been just like turned upside down, right side up.
Right.
Now, would I advocate for my life to be in a place where I have to be, my sleep patterns are reversed to what it was originally intended for? I would say no. And this is why, even as we become a global community,
yes,
have to be adjusted, because you and I have been on conferences where Pacific time is the time of the conference, but there are people all the way in the Middle East that are waking up for the conference, and their patterns has to be shifted.
Yes, absolutely.
To the time. So I just wanted to give that little caveat there, reference to the time to do whatever you're doing. Because I remember I had one of my clients, and she said, you know what, coach, I do my gratitude at my lunch break. Does that make it right or wrong?
Right.
So
right.
If that's the time that, because you're doing what you need to do in order to be centered. And as far as the time of doing it, because when I work with my clients, I would tell them, hey, this is what I do, but I'm not saying this is what you do.
Right.
And I would say to start, anyone that wants to have a practice of becoming aware, start with 5 minutes.
Yes.
5 minutes. You know, we go in places, and because of what we do, I have a business. My business is actually that time.
Yes.
So I spend 2-3 hours just being.
Yes.
I'm doing work. And I'm following the example of a person that I know that I'm considered. I mean, I disciple myself as a disciple of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ showed us his example. At the end of the day, the scripture says he withdrew himself. And while it was yet dark, he rose.
Yes.
And he had communion. So that's the pattern that I adopt because of who I am as a disciple of Jesus Christ. And if Jesus Christ did it, then I can say, you know what, that's a good pattern.
Obviously, if the master practiced a routine and a ritual at the beginning and the end of the day, right, then there's something about that, right? Because, you know, to be a world changer as his life was, then there was obviously some benefit in that. And so, you know, He is my example too, in terms of practical, how we practically live on earth. Because to me, that young man from Nazareth, he mastered life.
Mm.
And I have a desire to be a master of my life, which is myself, right? Because you guys know that, one of the biggest challenge you got in life is yourself. Because yourself is a lot.
That's why I don't want to be nobody. I don't want to be nobody.
Right.
My Bishop Noel Jones used to say, like me, but don't want to be like me.
Don't be like me.
I'm me. I'm unique.
Yes.
I can be you. Somebody
Yes.
again says, do the world a favor, just be yourself. Because
That's right.
you should be somebody else who would have made you
That's
somebody
right.
else who has made you.
That's right. And that's one of the biggest challenges in life we have. If self mastery, right?
With social media and likes and approval and followers.
Yeah. So why do we advocate as coaches like morning rituals or routines, regardless? And there's no perfect routine. There's no perfect practice. But the idea of having this personal time where we turn inward, right? Before we face the outer world, we want to turn inward, because we know as coaches, Wayne and I, that our inner world will eventually be the reflection in our outer world.
Say that again.
I'm gonna say it. You need me to say it again?
Say it again.
As transformational life coaches, mindset coaches, vision coaches, family coaches, whatever, because we hit all of the areas, right, Wayne? We know that our inner world, your inner world, yourself, who you are at the core, the essence of who you are, will eventually be the outer world that you experience. It will be how you show up in the outer world. So it is really, you are the source of your experience. And that's what Wayne and I talk about when we say living life by design versus living life by default. To live life by default is to never turn inward and to only deal with the outer.
Life is happening to me.
That's right. Life is happening to you. But when you understand that we are cause and not effect, that we are creators.
Say that again.
That when we understand that as human beings, we are not effects, but we are the cause of, we are the creators of all that we experience. When we realize that, consciously, right? Then we will understand that if I want my outer experiences to be a certain way, then I must turn inwardly, right? And align myself with that which I desire to experience in the outer world. And that's why we say that having a routine, a ritual, however you want to call it, is important and it's impactful. And actually, it becomes really, it's like your inner game.
It's what I would say, the word comes to mind, Oliver, is preparation.
Yes.
And we say failing to prepare to fail. And the best way to prepare is to prepare.
Yes.
And how do I prepare? I got to be intentional in my preparation.
Absolutely.
I got to know that, okay, this is how I'm going to start today.
Yes.
And I know we're going to get into what we do and what works for us, but it's about how do I begin?
Yes.
And again, reference to the teachings that we have, it's about beginning at the end.
Beginning with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey so eloquently
begin with the end in mind, because I don't make a trip unless I know where I'm going.
Yes.
I don't want to get in a vehicle and you say, I don't know where I'm going.
Yes.
I want to know where I'm heading.
Yes.
Because if I don't know where I'm going, I won't know when I get there.
Yes. And you won't know you wouldn't know which bus to get on, which plane to take. Just think about it. If you went to the airport and said, I want a ticket. And they're going to say, where you want a ticket to? Well, I just want a ticket. With no destination, with no preparation, with no intention. I mean, that's kind of how we live life when we live life without a vision or without intention or without a purpose, right? Or without a direction. And so part of the benefit of spending time with ourselves, having a practice or routine, it allows us, right, to make the determination of who we want to be, where we want to go, how we want to get there, and to connect with this higher power that we just use that as a general term. We know everybody got different practices. It doesn't matter what your practice is. It doesn't matter what your religious preference is. That doesn't matter. What matters is your intention. What matters is you knowing that you need help from a higher power, that you can't do life by yourself. I mean, we'll make a mess of it. We already see, just read the history books. You already know that humanity left alone will make a real big mess.
Have you seen any snippets of the news?
I
get snippets. That's for me.
Not lately. I don't. I don't.
Daily practice. A part of my daily practice actually is get snippets, and what that means, I get just this. I get like the headlines, and I need to be aware. Like, for example, one of the things that I do as a part of my morning ritual now is I make sure that I hear what's happening in Belize. I need to know what's happening in Belize, and you know why?
I know why.
And the only way I will know what's happening in Belize if I'm in tune, but I'm in tune with intent. And that's how I've met different people over the last year of journey. I have met some amazing people that are doing some amazing things that are on the same vibration. And I wouldn't have unless that was a part of my morning ritual.
Yes. And it's a part of mine because, and I'm like you. I can open my phone and it says the highlights, and I just read the highlights.
That's
I don't have to spend. There was a time that I watched the news 3-4 hours straight, but I realized that that was a ritual that was not adding to the quality of my life. It was taken away from because it was too much of an influence on my mindset.
You imagine watching all that stuff that they say this is going to happen. The economy is like this is how. You leave home, you're going to be like, oh my God, am I going to live today?
Yeah. So no, I grab the snippets, and it only takes me less than 3 minutes, and then I'm out of it. That's all I need to know. And then I turn my focus and my energy into my intention, right? And so what we've said so far is that we're creatures of habit. 80% of our day are habits. That all of us at some point, all of us have a programming within us. We call it a paradigm, where we are these creatures of habit, and that our paradigms or our habits is our habitual behavior is 80% of our day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to examine if the habits add to or subtract from the quality of our life.
Mary Morrison gives the definition of paradigm, and what she says, a paradigm is a system of beliefs, a system of habits based on our beliefs about ourselves and our world, and it's going to give us our circumstance and our results, because what I believe is going to determine how I behave.
Yep.
And how I behave is going to give me the results that I have. So I believe that, and again, you're programmed to where, like, for example, you get up in the morning and what someone might say, this is going to be a crazy day.
Yes.
You just established that it's going to be a crazy day.
Yep.
And then you put the energy into it. And then by the end of the day.
Right. You exhaust it when you get back home, right?
And that's why when you ask me about today, I say, this is a good day.
This is a good day.
Why is it a good day? Because this is the day the Lord has made.
Right.
And God doesn't make anything that is bad.
So you align yourself in that vibration of goodness.
Yes.
Right.
And if it's the day that God has made, I can rejoice and I can be glad in it.
So wow. So man, that's good. That's good. So all right. So Wayne, what are the benefits of having a consistent routine where you spend time with yourself, time with your executive director, as you say? What would
Mhm.
you say? What would you say? Uh, what would you couple the top 2 or 3 benefits of doing that? Of
Well,
that practice?
a part of my intention, as far as the end, because I start with the end in mind, right? I endeavor by the time the day's finished, I can lay on my back in my bed and I can hear, well done. Not perfect, but well done for the day. But then I start with that intention in mind. And one of the reasons why I got to check in is because I need to know, okay, so what am I going to be doing today? And a part of it is being practical because, for example, I know that this lot of time, we talked about it. This was intentional. We have this lot of time with what we're going to do. This is here already. I know that my first client, like I said this morning, I got caught up with the time change as far as the time, but I knew that I was going to have a client early. I knew that there was going to be another meeting, and I know what all this day is going to be. So even as I am like, even before I go to bed in the night, I know because the day begins in the evening. The day begins when the sun goes down. So even as I'm going to bed, I'm already being prepared for when I wake in the morning. And I say, I thank God for the gifts that I have unwrapped this morning. And the gift that I unwrapped this morning was my eyes. I opened them. And for me, starting with that awareness, peace, joy, stress-free, that's what it does for me. Because and I remember in the past when I wasn't really practicing, but I'm practicing right now as far as rituals, the alarm goes off and it's like, oh, I mean, it's,
The race begin.
the race begins. I can't live like that. I can't. I choose not to.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if I have a flight to take, I'm going to be at the airport before the time. I don't want to wait until then I get there and then there's anxiety and then there's stress and then I wonder if TSA is going to be. No, I want to get to the gate. That's what I did when I left Houston the other day. I sat at the gate and I was doing my meditation. I sat at the gate and I was doing my gratitude.
Right.
And again, that is what I would have done if I was home.
Right.
Then because of what I was doing, then hey. So
right.
For
and
me,
it does, yeah.
the thing that I get from it is that peace of mind, is that solace,
Right.
is that, and again, life happens.
Yes, absolutely.
Life happens. So it doesn't mean that everything that happens is going to be, but if I'm prepared, I'm best able to deal with it.
Absolutely.
The conflicts that will arise and the unforeseen things and the things that come and knock the air out of you.
Yes.
If you're not practicing, because we live in a world where everyone is at different vibration. And whether it's an interaction with family that caused me to go to a place of saying, okay, let me pause here and see what's happening here right about now. And at least I can be conscious of where I missed the mark.
Yes.
And when I miss the mark, what do? I need to start with forgiveness, forgive myself, ask forgiveness from those that I've offended, and then even forgive those who might have actually caused me to go to a place of being constricted. But if I start the day with the mindset of being truly aware that the point of power is within, and that one who is in me, who breathes me, is greater than any situation and circumstance. And the more I'm in that awareness, then, like Jesus said, I won't say anything unless I hear the Father saying it. I won't do anything unless I see the Father doing it. And it's practice. Practice makes better.
Absolutely.
Practice makes better.
Yeah.
Practice makes better.
We understand that on so many levels. That's why we have an appreciation what people call professionals, a professional athlete, a professional medical provider, like your dentist or your doctor, a professional chef.
They practice.
Right. A professional at every level, a professional house cleaner, a building, whatever the profession is. We understand and appreciate people that, like we say, oh, they are at the top of their craft, right? We understand that when it comes to what we call the normal things of life. But when it comes to our own personal development, we think that we can just move through life without preparation, without practice, right? Without being intentional about being at the top of the game called life, right? Which is the first objective there is self-management or self-mastery. And so what we're saying is that there's spending this time with oneself, right? Putting everything on the peripheral, everything else. It's going to be there when we get there. The job's going to be there. The problem's going to be there, right? The demands are going to be there. The children are going to be there. The extended family is going to be there, right? The government and its demands going to be there. The banks, all of these things that we deal with, they think those things are going to be there when we leave our place, right? But to not prepare ourselves, right, intentionally, to remind ourselves, because having a ritual or routine, it reminds yourself of who you are. It reminds yourself, like Wayne said, that all the power is from within, and that there's nothing outside of you that is greater than the power that you are, that's inside of you. Because again, we are the gods of this world. We are the masters. We are the one that's been given dominion, right, to be caretakers of and stewards of everything. So what I want to do now, Wayne, is I made a list. I want to share the list here with the audience. What are the benefits of having a ritual or a routine? And these are just some things that I wrote down. What are the benefits? It said it is an activity that forms a good habit. Spending time with yourself is a good habit. It's the best habit you can have. Having quiet time. It helps you stay on track and make progress toward your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your vision. It helps you to prioritize your time and your energy for that day. It helps you focus on the things that are important to you, and it eliminates distractions. It can help you build momentum and motivation for the day ahead. It leads to increased productivity, efficiency, and a sense of accomplishment. It makes it easy to say yes or no to that which does or does not serve you. And finally, you start your day with a sense of a fulfilling life.
You missed the one above.
Okay, it helps you cultivate clarity of vision and a proactive mindset. So these are just a few things that I listed based on the benefits that I know that I personally get from having a regular daily time that I spend with myself, or routine or ritual or whatever you want to call it. And so, we're not saying that these are all of the benefits. There's more, because all of us are different. All of us have different intention, right? What's fulfilling for me is may not be fulfilling for you. So it's all about you and your personal awareness that I have a life, and I understand my responsibility to take this gift of life, because it's a gift, right? And show up in the world as my best self. That's the greatest gift we can give to our families. That's the greatest devotion we can show to our Creator. Is to on a daily basis. Now, I'm not talking about perfection here. I'm talking about having the intention and starting the day with yourself and ending the day with yourself, because you are going to start and end the day with yourself, whether you do it intentionally or not, right? Because you're gonna lay with the results of the day. And
And
sometimes,
what I want to emphasize from where I'm coming from too is that we're talking about self, right? But I want to go beyond self because it's not about me. It's about me being connected to God, the source.
and
I,
all creation.
I cannot but acknowledge that why I'm breathing, why I'm alive is because of God. And the time that I'm spending as I say, coming into this, I say coming, and for me, coming in, sometimes I come in just like a child. I literally would just be in the fetal position in my bed. As I reflect on the maker, I reflect on the creator, and I think of the universe that has been created, and there are times, for example, part of my ritual when I'm in Florida, I go to the pier in front of my cousin's house and I wait to see the sunrise. And in that place, as I watch the sunrise, I reflect on the awesomeness of who God is. You know, the songwriter says, "Oh Lord, my God, how I in awesome wonder when I consider all the world thy hands have made. I see the stars. I mean, and honestly, my soul cries out, wow.
Yes.
And to know that I have the opportunity to step into the space and the awareness and to say, okay, so what would thou have me to do today?
Right.
And for me, a part of the ritual for me, hey, the downloads that I get, I journal.
Right.
The thoughts that come, I journal, and it's not just writing what I get, but also responding back to what I get.
Right.
And then I go to, you know this, right? Reading
Yes.
something that is going to be inspiring or motivation.
Yes.
And again, it's about expanding where I'm at spiritually. And I continue again reading. And then I write my gratitude.
Yes.
But then I also listen to the meditations of gratitude.
Yes.
And it's that for me is what I call the work.
That's the work.
Preparation for my day. So by the time I come into the space of someone that I'm serving, I come from a place of overflow.
Yes.
And I can only give from overflow, because if I give out of empty, that's when I'm going to be like depleted. I can only give what I've received, and freely I've received, then I can give, whether it's a word of encouragement, or whether it's a motivation, or whether it's just a space that I endeavor to create that is guilt-free, condemnation-free, shame-free. And I can only show up if I've actually prepared.
Yes.
And that's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, we live in a world where we are craved with the idea of superstars. You know, and we live in a culture where there are more fans than there are superstars, so to speak. And so we get enamored with how people are able to perform at high levels. And so we don't understand the work that took place before they came on the stage. All of the time that they have spent cultivating, right? Coming to be one with their skill, right? But we just see the performance and we get all, isn't it great, right?
And then I want to be like, but I don't
And
want
then
to.
right.
I don't
Right.
want to go through the process, but I want to be just like that
Right,
person.
right. Not knowing that that's the result of spending the time, of having a routine, a consistent routine. And I mean, everything in life shows us that nothing just boom happens. But if you look at all the other areas, even in human life, it starts with a seed. And that seed grows and develops, right? Through work. And a lot of that work is done behind the scene, or it's not visible.
Inconspicuously.
Right. Look outside your window and look at, if you're, now experiencing spring, and you have watched and seen a bare tree with no leaves. All of a sudden, there a bud appear. Then all of a sudden, some pollen appeared. And all of a sudden, this little petal picked out, and then all of a sudden you got a full grown leaf now. And it's like that didn't happen in one instant, but that was a process, right? And that process is invisible. We don't see the energy, but the energy is there. Likewise, in our own life, that energy, that same energy that's in the development of that tree and that leaf, that's the same energy that is animating us. That's the same energy that has the process of development. And as we spend time acknowledging that, becoming one with what is really running the show, right? Which is in the invisible, the inner self, that inner facing. The first response to that is what, Wayne? Gratitude, thanksgiving. Oh my God. Lord, I thank you. I am so happy and I'm so grateful for the air that we breathe. Right? We begin to acknowledge a bountifulness that's all around us all the time, that we have so much already present that we don't even appreciate, we don't even see. This is what that quiet time and that inward facing will do to our mindset. It will begin to expand our consciousness and our awareness to see the beauty of life that's all around all of us. It's everywhere present. It's nowhere that it is not.
You're gonna have me jump up and start running around here.
That's okay. I'll probably follow you.
When I think of just, oh my God, it is amazing. And results don't lie. And what the time that you spend in the presence, in the awareness, the results are going to be seen. And the results goes right back to the practices and the thing is, the laws that are initiated and activated in the midst of this works for people who might not even think about God, really. Because people who are successful, and when I say successful, talking about visible in the world, having all the money, it is said that successful people have rituals.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and you know what else successful people have? They have coaches.
Results.
No, they have coaches.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's why before I became a coach, I was coached.
Right. Absolutely.
I definitely want to give homage to Mary Morrissey.
Yes.
Who, ignited a flame within me. And I remember when we were finishing our certification, she said this. She said, like what Napoleon Hill was told by Andrew Carnegie. She said, you say this to me, Mary Morrissey, I will pass you at the post and I'll meet you at the grandstand. And her dream, like Les Brown, these are people who are envisioning people that they're involved with go where they are and beyond. And that's the same thing that I said.
Absolutely.
Clients, I say to the folks I'm working with, I'm coming at warp speed with the baton.
Yes.
And I'm saying reach.
Yes.
I'm expected to pass it to you.
Yes.
And if I'm coming, giving you the baton, and I'm coming at warp speed, you should be going beyond warp speed.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's about realizing where I'm at and endeavoring to take others where I'm at and beyond.
Absolutely. That is how the world gets transformed. And I'm telling you, man, we're both sitting here as a result of what we do in private, not what we do in public. Yes, we have a part of our business is to be public because that's where the people live. People live in the virtual community. That's why we come out here. We're not coming out here because we love just, sitting in front of the camera. No, we come out here for you. We're out here because that's our assignment. Our assignment is to bring more light, more awareness, more transformation, more information to the communities that we serve, to bring it so that you, our brothers and sisters, can have sharper tools to do the work of your own life, to improve your own life, to make progress in your own life, so that you can turn around and share it with someone else. This is how the world going to transform. It's not going to transform by something beaming down on us. It's going to transform one heart sharing with another heart at a time.
The Apostle Paul says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Absolutely.
And so we transform as our thinking change, and as our thinking change, we think God's thoughts rather than the thoughts that we're being bombarded with by the outside world and the outside systems. Because I gotta think the divine thoughts, and I will think the divine thoughts when I realize that I'm connected to the divine, when I can be still and I can listen, and then I can have a heart to obey.
Yes.
Because knowing is one thing, but knowing and actually seeing that knowing becomes an action, that's when transformation occurs. Because knowledge is, we're so, think about AI right now and all the knowledge that is being gathered in this technology that we're living in. And yet there is a source that is beyond AI.
Well, where do you think AI is getting this information from? The same
Hey.
source.
Hey, and think about the database reference to just me, because every grain of my hair is accounted for.
Yes.
Every
Yep.
word that I speak is accounted for.
Yes. Well, Wayne, we don't want to end the presentation. I know we're coming up on the end here without sharing a few practices that are universal and that to give people some idea if they need ideas. But like we said, it is all your choice. And it could be your choice to just spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour just sitting quietly in meditation. It doesn't have to be an activity. It could just be sitting quietly. That in and of itself is very powerful.
It's not
very powerful.
easy, but it's possible.
It's not easy, but it's possible. But let me just share this screen here. So, what are some good practices for a morning ritual or the time that you spend in with yourself? First of all, don't start your day until you end your day the night before or the day before, depending on your schedule. In other words, it's a good practice to already have some intention for your next day. So that's what it means we don't start our day until we end our day in writing. So in other words, because if you wait to the day of, then you're gonna be in scramble mode. What am I gonna do? Who am I gonna see? Where am I gonna go? Why am I gonna go there? Who am I gonna go there with no seat? So you're already in scramble mode.
Yes.
And time is ticking. And we know when time is ticking and we don't have an intention, we go straight into what? Anxiety. Because we have no plan. We have no roadmap, right? And so we start our day with the roadmap already in place by thinking about what we're going to do the next day, already having, some idea. So you never start your day until you end your day. That's what that means. It's a good practice to wake up at the same time every day, if that's conducive for your lifestyle or for your responsibilities. If it's conducive, it's just a good thing to wake up at the same time every day. And most of us have an internal clock anyway. You don't even have to set the time clock. Unlike me, I don't even have to set the alarm clock. I wake up at the same time every morning because it's a practice. Whatever you practice, it becomes a habit. But is that a good habit? Yes, it's a good habit. Now, I could decide, hey, I'm going to stay here for the next 30 minutes or 45 minutes. That's fine. But the fact that having an intention to wake up the same time every day, it's just a good practice. Okay. Drinking a glass of water first thing to hydrate and to kickstart your metabolism and your digestive system. That's a good habit. That's a good practice. Because when your metabolism and your digestive system is still in lockdown, when you're trying to get through your day, that's discomfort. So one way to kickstart it is to drinking or hydrating first thing. When I go to sleep at night, I always stick a bottle next to my nightstand. And when I wake up, jump in my slippers, my night slippers, I grab the bottle and I start hydrating. Mindfulness practices, such as, like Wayne said, he writes out his gratitude, meditation, journaling, prayer. All these are different types of mindfulness practice. And that basically means that we are activating the mind with intention and an awareness that, you know, I'm reconnecting to myself. I'm reconnecting to my divine self and to my creator. That's a good practice. And how that looks for you is perfect. Study and reading something inspiring. Wayne, you share, you read certain books, right, in the morning, right? You don't want to read the news. That is not going to inspire you. But you want to read something inspiring, depending on, you know, what's your religious practice, what your belief system, you know, as long as it connects you with yourself and it connects you with your creator, it's perfect for you. Exercise that involve movement, and that could be in the form of walking, yoga, or any kind of cardiac exercise, whatever works for you. I'm not a gym rat. I don't go to the gym. I play golf. I get in a few yoga shapes, and I walk. That's my perfect exercise, and it keeps me in the form that I want to be. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. If I wanted this ripped look, then I would have to go to the gym. I would have to do something different, but that's not what I desire. But whatever you desire for your to participate in some exercise so that you get some movement in your body, because it's important to have movement in the body. Because what you're doing is moving energy, right? We're moving energy. Eating a nutritious breakfast. And you guys have heard me in my community on many of my talks talking about the importance of feeding yourself live food. And we all know when we all know the results from what we eat, because we feel a certain way based on what we're eating. And we all know that live food promotes more clarity, right? It promotes it works more internally with our organs. So making healthy choices, we all know that so how much health do you want, right? How much feel good do you want? Well, then you turn to improving your nutritional choices, and having a healthy nutritional eating habit in the morning bodes well for the way you feel, for your emotions, for your awareness, your clarity during the day. It does affect it. Reviewing your aspirations, your visions, your dreams, your goals. You know, a builder never starts building a house without a blueprint. Do you have a written blueprint for what you desire? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What is your vision for your life? What's your dream? What is your professional goals? What's your personal goals? It's good. It's a good practice to have them written and to review them daily. Why? Because it helps remind you, or to put you back center when life seems to get off course, because life is going to get off course. Wayne, you flew from Houston to LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 60% of that plane was off course.
Yes.
But by the time it got to LAX to land, it got back on course, right? Based on a flight plan, right? Well, that flight plan, represented a destination. So to have a written goal, a written vision with our vision, dreams, and goals in it, our core values, all these things, your monthly goal, I get real deep with it. With monthly goals, quarterly goals, annual goals. I got a 3-year plan. I got a 10-year plan. Because I think the more detailed we are, the more that the universe can say, okay, and make it happen for us. And so reviewing your goal, your blueprint every day is a good practice. It's not a requirement. I'm just saying it's a good practice.
Yes.
And then finally, set your intentions for the day that leads to a goal achievement. That's the good practice. You're setting your intention. Though the day may not go the way you intended, but because you're setting your intention, then when things do get off course, right? Because you have set intentions, you can stay even more focused on what you have already set your intention for. So it creates, for me, man, it just creates a mindset that I can relax, right? I can be at ease because I know where I'm going, and I don't get thrown off by the distractions that occur during the day. I don't get thrown off by other people's emergencies, and other people are having emergencies because they have no intention. They have not set their intention for the day. And so people will pull you into the emergency. You ever had that happen?
Well, I have a saying in my family, and they get at me sometimes for it because I say, your emergency does not automatically becomes my priority.
And
And
that's right. And that's not being unsensitive.
no,
But at the same time, you give yourself the leeway, Wayne, to say, because I am a person of sensibility, I do need to attend to this right now. But you make that decision, right? Based on, because you're prepared, you know how to make that decision. You know how to say yes and how to say no. Right. And it's in the best, that yes can be in the best interest of everyone, as well as a no be in the best interest of everyone. Because some people just habitually, right, stay in crisis.
Yes.
And if we keep feeding the crisis,
hey, they know
advocating for the crisis, then they'll never learn, right?
They can call you and you're going to drop everything for them.
Yes. Yeah. So, wow, I think we kind of covered this subject broadly. What do you think?
I appreciate what you shared. I appreciate what you shared, and this is a continuous evolution because we're becoming better every day.
Every day.
Today I'm working at being a better me than I was yesterday, and then tomorrow I'm going to be working at being a better me than I am.
That's right.
The reality is that I am complete, but it's my awareness of who I am.
Yes.
Because I say God is in my past, God is in the present, God is in the future, just waiting for me to get there. And like, I've been here waiting for you. Yes. But it's my awareness of this journey.
Yes.
And I'm a better me. I'm a better me every day. Yes. The experiences I'm having are adding value to my life and the destination and the vision and the purposes that God has placed in my life. So
yes.
That time enhances the impact and the end results of seeing the end. And like I said, at the end of every day for me is knowing I can hear well done. And at the end of all this life is knowing that it's going to be a well done.
Yes. I feel that people are asking, man, how do you two guys get together? I mean, this guy from a little place called Belize down in central part of the world. And here you are, from this little space in North Carolina. How did you guys connect? And why do you guys seem like y'all are so in sync with one another and support one another? And just like, you're like brothers, and we are.
We are.
And so maybe the next time, Wayne, next month, maybe we'll talk about the importance of having a mastermind partner or a partner in believing.
I sure am. And, I go back to LA Sunday, and the weekend of Cinco de Mayo, I get a chance with my mastermind to take a 2-day trip and just enjoy California.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that
in May. In May, we'll talk about May.
Mastermind and what it has done for me.
Yes.
So, but I want to say thanks for this time.
Hey, listen, if you are out there, and I know you are, you may be listening live, or you just may be listening to the replay. Our intention from the beginning of this talk was to add value and build goodwill and equity in the communities that Wayne and I serve. Because we're here for you. And you are here for us. So there's a mutual benefit here. And so if what you heard from Wayne today resonates with you, if his vibration resonates with you, I want you to reach out to Wayne. Wayne is one of the most, he is one of the most profound coaches that I have met, and I've met a lot of coaches. I go into a lot of coaching communities. Wayne is one of the more profound, sincere coaches that one could put themselves under to learn how to navigate life in such a way that you become a master of your life. That's his chosen profession. He's a professional at it. I mean, he's really good. Wayne is really, look, Wayne, why do you think I chose him as my mastermind?
Hey,
Wayne is good.
My response to that is namaste.
And so if you want to reach out to Wayne, you can email him. Is that right, Wayne?
That's mudas.com 220 mudas2002 at yahoo.com.
Yes, you can email Wayne and get in contact with him there, or you can reach out to him. He's on Facebook and he's on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Wayna's Supermodel. WAYNAZ Supermodel.
You are the supermodel.
That's another story to be told another time.
So Wayne is available to.
And you are too. You and your amazing wife. And do tell her I send my love.
Oh yes, I will. She stepped in right at the beginning of the broadcast and gave us a go.
And the amazing work that you guys are doing because you guys are the unstuckers. You and your wife help people to get unstuck.
Yeah. Yes, we are the unstuckers. So if you feel that you're not making progress or advancing in your personal or your professional life, Yolanda and I are both certified transformational coaches. We got certified under the same master coach that Wayne did. We both got certified under the same personal development company, and one of the best, most amazing master coaches in Mary Morrissey.
Yes.
And but we focus on helping you get unstuck so that you can create a clear vision for your personal and or professional life. And so you can reach out to us on this platform that we're on. I have a business page, Truly OB LLC, Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, Truly OB. And then you can connect with us by our email address, which is, I'll put it up on the screen. How about that? okblues at trulyob.com. You can email us if you have an interest to go deeper into this discussion. And Wayne and I are even offering today complimentary strategy session to anyone that said, yes, I want to go deeper, right? I want different results in my life. I'm sick and tired
yes,
of the results that I'm getting. So you can reach out to either one of us and we will offer you a complimentary strategy session where we will spend an hour with you and helping you to get clear on what it is that you would love.
That'll be my pleasure.
It would be our pleasure. Okay. All right. Well, look, that's another Coach's Corner in the Book with Coach Wayne Moody and Oliver Blue. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next month.
Yes.
And until then, think about a practice. Think about developing a even more effective time that you spend with yourself, a routine, a ritual that could help skyrocket you to where a year from now, people will say, I don't know what happened to that guy or that gal, but something happened to them. Their life just turned around. You'll be surprised. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye.